And we are ready to get going. Final game here in Indianapolis, and TCU will take it. Their third consecutive NCAA appearance in the tournament.
Well, Utah State is a man-to-man team. They're one of the top teams in the country defending the three-point shot.
Jameer Nelson Jr., three. What a way to strike for the Hornets.
Nice job, Dan. So much for that. It's interesting, though. Jameer Nelson Jr. hit that shot, but TCU is a team that only gets about 1/4 of their points from beyond the arc.
Darius Brown has the ball. Graduate senior. Isaac Johnson on top. In the corner for Brown. Second straight NCAA tournament for the Aggies. Johnson inside, couldn't get it to go, and it's out of bounds. It's off of TCU.
Johnson missed a great opportunity right there. Nice pass from Osibor. Not able to convert inside.
Well, Osibor is a really good passer. They run a lot of things through him, and Johnson's a 7-footer. Now, he's more a perimeter guy than inside, but if you're 7 feet, you got to make that one, don't you?
You absolutely do. And look, Osibor is maybe the best under-the-radar player in the country. I think a lot of fans out there are probably seeing him for the first time tonight. This guy can really play.
Yeah, the drive right here, Falso, and inside knocked away. Emmanuel Miller comes the other way. Peavy, by the way, picked up that foul for TCU moments ago.
And that's the one thing that if you're Utah State, you can't do against TCU. You can't have those turnovers that allow them to get out and go. They didn't score that time, but they drew a foul.
Right, TCU 15th in the country in steals and 21st in the country in turnovers forced, and that's how they lead the nation in fast break points.
Peavy pulls up at the line. Tip and try won't go. It's picked up by Miller, and he'll can it. Nice shot, put up and in, Emmanuel Miller. He was all Big 12, second team. Driving inside with a miss, right on the doorstep. False left. And Jameer Nelson weaving, driving over Johnson. Knocked it away. Johnson with that great 7-foot frame. Martinez the other way. And a collision while airborne with Miller.
Great effort by Miller to get back and prevent the layup.
But somebody's got to rotate back earlier because Jameer Nelson drives the ball. But Miller does a really nice job coming from the other side.
But he's the one guy you don't want to get into foul trouble.
Yes,
he's their leading scorer. He leads them in minutes played. This is a team that subs frequently. We'll see guys start coming into the game 4 or 5 minutes in.
Right now is Martinez. It'll roll in. We say good evening to Andy Katz.
You know, it's amazing that Martinez was the last player that Danny Sprinkle recruited to complete this roster. You know when that was? That was June 21st.
Wow.
When he took the job back in April. No points, 9 minutes returned. He had no players, essentially. There was 2 redshirt guys and a walk-on when he walked out of the news conference. Had to completely rebuild this roster. That's what makes winning this regular season in the Mountain West even more remarkable. That he had completely new roster to build from April to June.
A lot of work. Chuck O'Bannon. That last name should be familiar to college basketball fans. Has it right here. His dad, Charles O'Bannon, who played at UCLA. Pickpocketed Nelson. Darius Brown. Falslev tries and puts it up and in. He's a terrific athlete. Mason Falslev, a freshman from Benson, Utah.
Well, and that was started by a Darius Brown steal. He was an all-defensive team guy in that league as well as being first-team all-conference.
Chuck O'Bannon will spin and hit the shot. Get it over Martinez for 2. Falslev the other way with the spin to Peavy and frightens another 2 on that doorstep.
Boy, he fought his way in a crowd. That was a 1-on-2. We talked about TCU's ability to get out and go, but Utah State has a little bit of that themselves.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised with the pace they're playing at here early on, but Falslev's a guy who's going to attack all the time.
It's Miller alone for 3. Emmanuel Miller, the leading scorer, leads him in rebounding. Horned Frogs will rely on him a lot. In the corner, Martinez, triple. Johnson comes flying in. It's off his hands. It's off the Aggies.
And we've got 2 subs already.
They got Avery Anderson in and Xavier Cork. 2 new Horned Frogs in the contest. Here's Cork, and Johnson's on him. Peavy on the wing. It's an Emmanuel Miller 3-point try. Parslev inside, grabbed it. Boy, is this kid something else. Led the state of Utah in scoring a couple years ago. Redshirt freshman, driving as Martinez, and out to Johnson. The big man shoots a 3.
The only thing I don't like, they're not being patient to get Osobor involved. He's the best player on the team, and he's not even part of this right now.
Chuck O'Bannon fans on the shot.
He hadn't attempted a shot yet.
Hasn't really had the ball.
We have a steal. It's Miller driving inside, diving, and a foul is called.
This is the kind of pressure that TCU can put on you.
Well, if you turn the ball over, this is what you're going to be seeing.
Osobor picks up the foul. And at the free throw line is Emmanuel Miller.
And when your big guy is that valuable to your team, you don't want him picking up fouls like that.
Agreed. Not 4 minutes into the game. And 4 minutes into the game, we've already got our 3rd sub for TCU.
Chuck O'Bannon will check out. And they go to Jacoby Coles. He'll check in. Played a year at Butler. Junior from Denton, Texas. And a look at Jamie Dixon.
Well, Coles is their leading scorer off the bench. He averages almost 10 points a game. He's a pretty good 3-point shooter.
He's a good player. I like Jacoby Coles. Not a great athlete. Big body. Not only can shoot it, he can put it on the floor. He can pass. Really knows how to play. And they do this a lot against pressure so that Brown doesn't have to face pressure. They just throw the ball back to Osobor, and he brings the ball up the floor.
Osobor takes it, driving through traffic, pounding his way inside. Lost it, got it, put it back in.
Well, you know, if they won't throw it to you, I guess that's what you do. You get it, take it yourself.
Well, Avery Anderson is a great ball pressure guy. He's going to pick up full court on Brown. Rather than making Brown work that hard, there's not too many power forwards going to pressure Osobor.
It's a turnover. Darius Brown at the controls. Takes it the other way. Graduate. Senior. He is from Pasadena, California. Long 3. Wow. Is right. Rebound Cork.
Anderson is really fast.
Look at him fly inside. Can't get it. And a foul called. At the free throw line here is Avery Anderson. He's a senior from Justin, Texas, who played 4 years at Oklahoma State.
And Travian Tennyson comes into the game for TCU, already the 4th sub in less than 5 minutes, and this will go on all night. Guys running in and out of the game.
So this is the 3rd straight NCAA tournament for the Horned Frogs. First time in program history. They put 3 together. They miss, and they try to scoop it back in, and they do. Nice play. Xavier Cork scoops it home. 2 for him.
And Osobor just couldn't hold on to the ball, and I thought he made a very smart play to not try to block that shot. He's already got the 1 foul.
He slips there. Gets it out to Brown. Covered heavily across the way by Tennyson. With 14:48 to go. Kicked out of play.
Osobor has a chance there and just stays away, and I thought that was a really good play. And what a great shot that was.
Well, this roster for TCU, 3rd in the nation in Division I experience. They average 3.4 years of Division I experience.
They've got 7 guys on the team with college degrees.
Brown throwing it inside. Sacco could not slam it.
Some
Tennyson.
teams will never have
look at
7
that
guys with
high
college
move
degrees.
right there. Pretty play, getting it to go. It was Avery Anderson.
Well, he's a special athlete.
He is. My goodness, can he fly. Osobor. Cork is on him.
You can see them just loaded up to him.
Martinez inside. Nice slam. Sacco from France.
When he gets the ball, Osobor gets the ball, the entire TCU team is loaded up to him. He's going to have to make passes like that all night long.
Yeah, and his teammates are going to have to move to give him places to pass the ball.
Going inside here for Miller. He's double teamed. He's in a straitjacket. Outside. Anderson. 3 won't go. And Falsev has got the ball and races the other way. Rebound, Miller.
You know, I don't think you want to try to take that shot 1-on-4.
Tennyson on the fly, gets it to go.
Because if you do, you allow them to just go the other direction.
Yeah, look, I like taking opportunities to run, but I do not think Utah State wins a game, an up-and-down game against TCU.
Brown was in the big sky. He was the defensive player of the year. He throws those to Osibor, who will take this jump shot over Cork.
That's not his game.
Falsev, good spin, good feed. Osibor puts it in.
That is his game.
That is his game, and he gets to the free throw line. He has great hands. Throw the ball in his area, he will catch it.
And this is just a really nice move by Falsev to get it in there. And, you know, Osibor, he took that three. He's only made 3 3-point baskets all year long. This is his bread and butter on the inside.
He's not getting a lot of room. They usually do a better job of moving people and moving the ball so that defenses aren't loaded up. He's not an isolation guy.
Osibor, who is with Montana State, and current Aggies coach Danny Sprinkle, brought him in. Comes in, and as Stan told you earlier, the Mountain West Player of the Year. Anderson backpedals for a triple.
We have some guys playing out of character. Avery Anderson, a 28% three-point shooter, has just jacked up 2 of them. Guys need to get back to playing to their strengths.
Falsev got the missed shot. Osibor will take it the other way. Driving hard. Down he goes. Count the 2. Foul.
Well, look at that. Brown sets the pick on the ball for Osibor, who can really handle. Look at this screen. There's no help. Osibor to the rim and gets fouled.
Anderson picks up his first foul. Jameer Nelson Jr. will check in. And at the free throw line is great Osibor.
The guys who are guarding Darius Brown are not used to defending the screen and roll from that position.
Count your courtside, refresh your fandom with the delicious Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Well, I'm a loyal Coke drinker.
As you've told us during the day.
Absolutely. Every morning we start it off.
Good feed in low. Getting free was Uday, who played at Kansas. Now he's at TCU, staying in conference. Driving here, Peavy. Reverse, pretty play.
Well, I like that from TCU, and that's how Jamie Dixon wants to play. The ball moves from side to side, move the defense, and then attack.
Cross-court feed. Brown. He'll hit Aduche. And back out to Osibor. Picked up by Uday. Jackson, 3. Bullseye. Puts it through. Javon Jackson, a sophomore from Houston.
He can shoot the 3. Only shoots a couple a game, but at 37%.
Nelson kicks it out. Peavy back to Nelson. Brown will defend for the Aggies.
Brown is a terrific defender.
You're right, Stan. You're exactly right. Across the lane, Peavy. He travels. We've got a 2-point game. TCU has led by 8. Utah State has not led in this one.
Danny, how do you prevent TCU, whether it's in transition or in half court, still getting to the basket right in this lane?
Yeah, we got to get our butts back. We got to get squared up in front of the ball. Even when we're cross-matched, they're so fast. Sometimes you're not going to be getting your guarding your own guy, and we have to do a better job. Sometimes we're on the side of them, and their speed's getting to us.
Thanks, Danny.
You bet.
Utah State was a preseason number 9 pick in the Mountain West. And Dan, they finished number 1 in the conference, won the regular season, and here they are in the NCAA tournament.
That story that Andy told about Danny Sprinkle taking the job and having no points left and then rebuilding the team, that's an amazing story.
Nice dunk. Sacco, he got it from Osibor, and a 10-2 run for Utah State.
Well, TCU was up pressuring, and Darius Brown smartly threw it over the top. Osibor was in a 2-on-1 situation, and Dan already mentioned he's an outstanding passer.
Peavy, nice looking stroke. He's got a 3 and give him 5.
Well, Utah State went to the 1-3-1 zone. That corner 3 will be open against the 1-3-1.
But Peavy, you mentioned they're not great three-point shooters. He's only 31%.
Jameer Nelson knocked the ball away.
Well, Jameer Nelson, one of the best in the country, averaging 2 steals a game in only 25 minutes a game.
And that's how you handle the press right there.
Throw it over the top.
It's Brown. And they're going up high for Sacco again. Rock'em, sock'em, Sacco.
Wow. Osibor saw that, and Sacco didn't. That was a very fortunate play. Sacco suddenly realized, wait a minute, this is for me, and he went and he got it.
Miller to Nelson.
1-3-1 zone again from Utah State.
Emmanuel Miller back to Nelson. He'll pop a 3. Osibor's got it with the court link pass for Jackson. Jackson is coming from Division II Southern Nazarene in Oklahoma. He's a sophomore. He was the conference freshman of the year. And Sacco right here again.
Wow, Sacco again. He was throwing that for a lob, and Sacco didn't realize it.
2 in a row, though, as he climbs the ladder and gets it to go. And halfway through the first half, here in Indianapolis, Nelson Burrows kicks it on the wing. The 3. Oh, Bannon watches it clank away.
That was a nice pass and an open corner 3 to a guy who has been shooting the ball extremely well the last month.
You're so right.
He hits the side of the backboard. He's got a funny looking shot. It's like a slingshot kind of thing.
Yeah, it is. Somebody was calling it a catapult.
A catapult, okay.
And now you see TCU doesn't pressure as much full court when Avery Anderson is not in the game.
Javon Jackson in the corner it goes. Auduje gets it on top to Jackson. And now to Brown. He played at Cal State Northridge and Montana State. Makes the move, sets up for a 2.
Oh boy, that's a tough shot.
That was good contest by O'Bannon.
Peavy the rebound. Peavy advances the ball. Peavy on the other end. Miller and Nelson and O'Bannon.
We're back to man-to-man.
Emmanuel Miller faces the pressure. Approaching 9 to play in the first half. O'Bannon will take it and put up a floater on the fly. Rebound inside. It's collected by Auduje. Jackson makes a move. Getting it up top. Thought somebody might be flying to the rim and out of bounds.
Those floaters from that range are a really tough shot. It's best to plant your feet, rise up, shoot a jumper.
Yeah, no questions. In the West, go to the conference finals.
You and I did the Eastern Conference Finals against the Celtics and the Heat. Under 9 to play now here in the first half. Utah State has never led. Down by 1. Nelson has the ball for TCU. Mustafa is in. Issam Mustafa. The runner right there will not go. A miss by Tennyson. Brown advances for the Aggies. Driving here's Martinez to Jackson to Brown. Johnson back in inside. Osibor with a nice spinner, but that will not go. O'Bannon the rebound.
Everybody seems a little bit spent.
I agree.
Well, and that's to TCU's advantage. If this game speeds up like it has been, even though it's close right now, I like TCU if we're going to just play fast on it.
Nelson with the 3. Johnson was getting for the ball, and the ball knocked away and out of his hands by Mustafa. Each of the top 8 scorers are upperclassmen. 7 of 8 are seniors.
Well, and they get up and down, and we've seen it. He's talking about the fact that they're getting good shots, but I think one of the problems for TCU, they're not a three-point shooting team, and 10 of their 21 field goal attempts have been three-point attempts.
Yeah, I would disagree with Coach Dixon on that one. I don't think they're getting great shots.
Isaac Johnson. Martinez down low. Osibor. Oh, what a pass. What a pass, but then knocked away. Beautiful rejection by Nelson. He leads the other way, then picked off by Brown. Angling in, takes it in for 2. What a sequence.
Well, we've been talking about how good a defensive player Brown is, and wow, he read that one from all the way across the court.
Utah State has their first lead tonight. Tennyson. Miller. It's O'Bannon. And they blitz him on the side. They quickly kick it out. O'Bannon, Nelson, aligns from 3. Rebound punch back out there by Miller. Got it back. He'll put up a 3.
Now, when Miller can get the three-point shot, that is actually a good shot. He shoots 38% from out there.
And look, there haven't been a lot of offensive rebounds, but we've talked about it. They're a good offensive rebounding team, and offensive rebounds so often turn into threes.
Asabor inside, crawling his way, moves on Mustafa.
Well, he looked a little awkward on that one, but he's got such great hands and such great touch that he's able to get it in the basket.
He's got 9 right now. Approaching 6 to play. Fade away, Miller put it through. Played at Texas A&M for a couple of years. He's got 11.
And I think he's the guy that's got to be the one who's shooting the ball in those situations. You know, good shots, part of it involves who's getting the shots, not just whether they're open or not.
Martinez is dancing, driving into O'Bannon.
That is great footwork by Ian Martinez right there. Nice reverse pivot in the lane, and they're back in that 1-3-1 zone.
Nelson again, down low for O'Bannon. That's picked off. Kozlev takes it the other way. Kozlev gives off to Johnson. Isaac Johnson, the transfer from Oregon, puts it up and through. And Utah State by 2 with 5.5 in the half.
You can get Asabor in there. He is a very good playmaker. Some subs in the game. Tennyson, who's an outstanding shooter. And they have struggled with this 1-3-1 zone.
Well, it's an interesting 1-3-1 zone. The smallest guy on the court, Brown, is the bottom guy on the 1-3-1.
Well, because he's got to cover corner to corner.
And he can cover corner to corner. We've already seen that.
Tennyson kicks it out. Avery Anderson had it poked away. Now chasing and feeding the double team Miller. Tennyson on top. Kozlev got in the way and picks up the foul for the Yankees. His second. As Utah State is on a 20-10 run over the last 8.5 minutes.
Well, and Kozlev, I think, is going to come out with that second foul.
That was really good play by Tennyson. He saw Kozlev was really off balance and out of position and just drove the ball right into him.
Tennyson's a guy who can really get it going, and he's got the greenest of green lights.
Now they get into Coles, and Jacoby takes it in. Flying in, parachuting, Uday, who played at Kansas last year and transfers this year to TCU. He saw Hunter Dickinson was coming in, goes to the Horned Frogs, and now they go up high here. Athletic catch. Somehow he kept onto it, and then put back up and in with a nice play by Uday. Udajay got the 2.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a fantastic play by Martinez there to salvage that play.
Absolutely. That's not the way you draw up the lob, though.
No, it looked pretty. It ended the right way as Anderson kicks it off. Coles will drive hard. Johnson grabbed the ball and a whistle blown inside.
Yeah, Coles is a very skilled player. He's not a great explosive athlete, but he can handle, pass, and shoot. And Dan, that's a pretty good combination.
That's a great combination. And not only that, he's smart. He knows he's a good three-point shooter, so he gives you that look like he's going to go up for the 3, and then he goes right by the guy who's trying to get there and cover him.
Coles, who played a year at Butler, Khalifa Sacco, picks up his second foul for the Yankees in white.
And Coles got a big body, and he knows how to use it inside, too.
It's Darius Brown. Started every game when he was at his other school, Cal State Northridge. Asabor. Under 4 to go. Hounded defensively. They get it off to Martinez. He'll slither and fly inside for 2.
Wow.
He's got 6, and that was a pretty play.
Well, I don't know you draw it up that way either, but he really made something happen out of nothing.
Yeah, TCU had great pressure on them. I don't know how Martinez was able to get through that.
They kick it out. Jacoby Coles on a three. A 40% three-point shooter.
And again, neither of these teams relies heavily on the three, but they got a couple of guys who can shoot it.
Brown to Martinez. His rainbow will sink. 9 for him.
Yeah, Martinez has been great.
And he's a guy, if he can get hot, he's their second leading scorer, but he's capable of putting up a lot of points.
What acceleration by Anderson. Got the miss on a knee. Genuflex and gives it out to Coles. On the wing and move and a drive by Peavy, and it goes inside to Coles. And a rebound by Osibor. He's got 5 rebounds. Brown, Martinez, he is defended by Anderson. They go to Johnson, the Oregon transfer. Cross-court Brown, the fake, the feed. Johnson on top, hit as he fired, foul. A foul goes on Uday of TCU.
That's a bad foul. Things that helped Danny Sprinkle is he brought 2 very good players from Montana State in Osibor and Darius Brown. He brought 5 staff members, and so it was easier to get a system implemented. He had a lot of people to help the new guys get up to speed quickly.
And if you're going to bring 2 guys, Osibor and Brown are 2 pretty good guys to bring. He told us that when he was trying to get him to come, he told Darius Brown, he said, I need you, and Brown said, okay.
Yeah, that was an easy one, he said. And Darius Brown, just a great organizer as a point guard, gets everybody involved, doesn't turn the ball over, very, very solid.
7-footer Isaac Johnson, an 82% free throw shooter from American Fork, Utah.
TCU is going to have to solve this 1-3-1 going forward if they want to have a chance to win this game.
That was kicked.
TCU is one of those teams who would rather play in transition, and so you're right, Stan. Anytime they have to stand and try to figure something out, they're not quite as good offensively.
Anderson will take it. Johnson is there. Now some spinning by Uday. Shot clock at 10. The shot won't go by Miller. Rebound clutched onto by Darius Brown.
Uday looked like he had a 5-foot shot, and they turned it into a 10-foot shot.
It's hard to do.
It's not a wise thing usually.
2 minutes to go in the first half. Orchestrating Darius Brown, former Big Sky Defensive Player of the Year. And a three is short by Martinez. And out of bounds, it goes to the Horned Frogs of TCU.
Sometimes Utah State looks like they're a little bit sluggish getting into any sort of an offensive flow, and by the time they get going, the shot clock's running down.
Well, they are a very deliberate team in the half court.
Anderson trying to sneak it in. Back on top to Peavy. Anderson again looking past Johnson, which is hard to do. And he plays him well defensively. Shot clock at 7.
They're just playing around the perimeter right now.
Anderson will drive and feed. Cutting. Miller lost it. Inside. Loose. How they're playing Twister. And it is going back to Utah State on the held ball. Coming up on AT&T at the half. Get all the scores and highlights. You'll also get the latest NCAA tournament news. All coming up on AT&T at the half.
It's now 7 turnovers for TCU. And again, Stan, you're right. They're really struggling trying to figure out that 1-3-1.
The 1-3-1 turned the game around.
Brown at the controls, met by Jameer Nelson Jr. Aduje will kick it out to Brown, and the three. Good! Well, this is the biggest Utah State lead tonight. 9-0 run by the Aggies.
Well, Brown is a very good three-point shooter, just under 40%. Shoots about 4.5 of them a game.
Final minute. Nelson with the fake. Outside. Peavy, 3. It's chased and retrieved by Peavy. Baseline. Coles, his shot will go. Peavy puts it back up and in. Parachutes for 2. With 30 seconds remaining. And a timeout taken with a half minute to go in the half. Watch this. Just out of no place, leaping in, Peavy for the deuce. Starting on their previous teams and now playing in Fort Worth.
Well, that's the way you build a basketball team in college basketball in this day and age.
Jamie Dixon said the recruiting's easy. He said now you don't have to travel as much. The portal and everything else.
Zooms in the portal.
Yep.
There's a 0.2 of a second difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
Yeah, they're going to run it down for the last shot.
Brown will study. In front crouched is Avery Anderson. The commands from Brown.
Go.
It is indeed, and here he goes. Kicks it in the corner. It's picked up by Martinez. 3 at the buzzer. Will not drop, and halftime is here. The lead is 6. Utah State at one time led by 8, but they were down by 8 in that first half and came back. We've had a nice turnaround in this game if you're an Aggie fan.
Rebound the ball defensively.
And we're going to see right away what adjustments they've tried to make, because Utah State's going to the 1-3-1 right away. Good decision, I think, by Danny Sprinkle. Show that they've solved it first. I don't see anything different. 4 guys standing around the perimeter and just passing the ball. No movement.
Peavy on the wing. O'Bannon drives the baseline. Look at the other side. Miller comes in hard.
Well, that's a really nice job. The ball moved from one side to the other and then went inside. The ball's got to go side to side and in and out.
It's Brown on top. Johnson's got it. Asabor inside. Doubled in there. A lot of traffic. Picked up by Nelson. He'll come the other way. Peavy's got it on top. Working on the defense of Martinez. That ball is turned over, and Brown will come the other way.
Brown is just always around the ball.
He is. You're right, Dan. Johnson's free to fire from 3. Rebound, Emmanuel Miller.
Brown's also always on the court. Has not come out in this game.
Nelson. Peavy. Look at him slash. Spinning, gyrating, putting it up. And it's a Falslev rebound. Redshirt freshman, terrific football player in high school. Johnson takes that baseline. Kicks on the wing to Martinez.
He never got that ball in his hand.
Jameer Nelson Jr. Oh, look at that! Up high, flying inside. Uday coming in there.
Did Uday tip that ball?
I don't know.
Or did Nelson just throw it in the basket?
He might have, but that's what we're talking about, though. Get some stops, and you don't have to face that 1-3-1.
Asabor taking it in, collides. Uday hits the deck, and a foul on the Horn Frog.
He throws it up.
Oh, he got it. Yeah,
he did tip it. That's really a nice pass.
It is.
And I think to start the second half, Utah State might be going just a little bit too quickly, and the quicker pace really plays into TCU's hands.
They get it off to Johnson. Darius Brown, Johnson in there, double, but spins for the deuce.
It's a nice job by Johnson to keep his balance, not commit the charge, and to hold the ball up high so nobody else could get at it.
Utah State's a little surprisingly to me goes man-to-man after that score.
It's O'Bannon looking for a screen and fires. Rebound by Darius Brown.
Coaches who are primarily man-to-man coaches, once the team scores a basket or two against the zone, they're only too happy to get out of it.
Asabor comes up with a nice play.
Again, they're back to man-to-man.
You're a man. I said to Sam, if you're a man-to-man coach, you play a zone, and as long as it works, you're fine. But as soon as somebody scores on you, you're going right back to what you know.
Tennyson and Cork have checked in for the Horned Frogs. And Jacoby Coles is in as well and laces a 3.
Well, a good decision there by Jameer Nelson Jr. He got the blitz. They had to pull into the roll man, and he found Coles open in the corner.
Asabor over to Brown. Johnson with the screen. Johnson's got it and rolls to the rack. Oh, my. 9 for him.
And they're going back to the 1-3-1 now.
Nelson to Miller, and then Jacoby Coles. His dad played college basketball, then some CBA basketball. They go inside. The ball's ricocheted off a palm. Inside, look at Clark. Uncork and a foul. It's 16:34 to go.
Well, Nelson sees the rotation. Osibor had pulled in to help on the roll. Finds Coles open. And then Johnson, this is a difficult shot.
That's one of those shots. I was looking over at the Utah State bench, and all the coaches were going, ooh, and then the ball goes in and they set that down.
Cork at the stripe and gets the first one to go. The Horned Frogs this season had 4 wins over AP top 15 ranked teams. One of 7 teams in America to do that. Also Purdue, UConn, Kansas, Kentucky, Iowa State, North Carolina, they all did the same thing. Darius Brown from Pasadena, California. Martinez is on top. He's bumping in there into Jameer, who defends him well. Inside, Johnson caught it. He got great position inside. Tennyson.
That was a perfect pass.
It was.
And first of all, great recognition to see that and then make the pass, and they get back in the 1-3-1.
Miller to Nelson. Nelson inside. Cork out of bounds, and it's going to be TCU's ball. 5 points or less. They are 9-0 and #1 in Division I basketball.
I'll give a lot of credit to that to Darius Brown, who hasn't come out of this game. You've got a point guard who's a decision maker like he is.
Oh, knocked away. A hustling defensive Emmanuel Miller. Got in the way, and that ball ricochets out of bounds as he hustled back on D.
Yeah, it was a great effort by Miller.
They're going to go back to the bench and bring in Peavy, and they're going to take out Travion Tennyson.
You know, Isaac Johnson has played really well for Utah State. That was a tremendous block shot there.
He was a McDonald's All-America. Kicks it. It's in the lane. Fighting for room. Martinez. False line. Twice inside with the dive. Miller's got the rebound. Frogs the other way. Miller catches in stride and then feeds and then knocked away by Osibor. And a foul. His second.
Well, Falslez drives to the basket, and it's a missed shot, and that allows TCU to get out and go. That's one of the things that Utah State is, they've shot the ball pretty well, and when TCU's taken the ball out of the basket, it's not as easy to get out and run in transition.
No, I think it's the biggest key right now for TCU is they get some stops so they can play like this. If they're going to have to stay in the half court, that really favors Utah State.
Cork. Osibor. And now in the hands of Darius Brown. Look at the turnover story tonight. Just 3. And none in the last 15 minutes. Osibor. He's defended by Miller. He'll dance and jab and drive and lose it and regain it. And the shot clock at 7. Curling, spinning, driving, scoring!
They're not going to count it.
They're not indeed. He made it look good, though, didn't he? This was such perseverance in there to stick with that play.
And don't get me wrong here. I'm not saying the referees made a mistake. They need to adjust their rules. That basket should count.
Johnson, 3. Good! The big man sinks a triple. 14 points. 9 in the second half.
And they're back to the man-to-man.
He averages 6.5.
It's Jacoby Coles on top to Nelson. Swings it on the wing to Peavy. Jameer Nelson lost the ball. Oh, look at the big man go behind the back and get a little tricky and go crashing into the side as he was caroming down the other way.
What the big man needed to do was pick up the ball and not worry about going behind the back and getting tricky or anything else.
And he knows that right now. He's telling his teammates there.
There's Johnson. That's okay. Knock down that 3. They're not playing Florida, so why are they doing that?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
We've been doing this 12 hours, right? Inside, it's Osibor comes up again, and then Cork fouls him for TCU.
Well, that was a great interior pass from Miller to Cork, and Cork just couldn't hang on to it.
Osibor and Johnson, a pretty interesting 1-2 punch on that baseline front line for Utah State. A lot of size, a lot of girth.
Johnson has the size and Osibor has the girth.
There we go,
he's got a lot of
good.
girth.
I set you up and you just
He's
whacked it over the wall. Good for you.
Well, now here's TCU in his zone.
Yeah, TCU going 2-3 zone here. You don't see this a lot out of Jamie Dixon's team. They're trying to change some things up.
Well, again, if you get the other guys to stand, then that's a bonus to you.
Brown to Johnson. He'll throw up another three. Good! Oh, is he into it? And he is lacing a three after another.
Double-figure lead for Utah State. Isaac Johnson stepping up to be the hero.
10-point lead, the biggest tonight for Utah State. Miller will drive and feed. Peavy a three. Rebound retrieve. Falslev got it.
And Falslev likes to go.
He's going to go coast to coast.
Got it outside. Wildly threw it. Oh, my gosh. Osibor, that is like a bowling ball into some pins. He knocked over a teammate, knocked over about 3 seats. And when he goes barreling out of bounds, brother, hold on to your hats.
Well, Falslev's accelerator is very good. His brakes, not so much.
Holy smokes. He rams that time right into Javon Jackson, who just took it. And he's over there. Jackson is over there now, trying to make sure that all the parts are still on his body. He's feeling around for arms and legs.
And Osibor is going to take a little bit of a rest. They got him about 1 minute and 15 seconds rest in the first half.
He is really into it, isn't he? He is some kind of player. Fun to watch. He lived in Spain until he was 12. Then went to England. Now he's in Logan, Utah. Jacoby Coles got it with a nice stroke.
Now, I'm going to leave Jacoby Coles out there for a while. He's a steadying influence. He's highly skilled. He's experienced. And as you said, Dan, he's really, really smart.
Brown the drive.
And he's made jump shots.
Well, he's a very good shooter.
Aduje was in. Johnson is there. Driving inside, and he goes into Anderson. After all the games are over, Adam Lefko, Jay Wright, Candace Parker, and Seth Davis will give you the highlights, the analysis on Inside March Madness. It is presented by Buick. Later tonight, only on True TV. Johnson at the line, his 17 points, a new career high.
Not a bad time to get a career high.
Nope.
And TCU right now is just trying to withstand this Utah State run. They've got to do a good job of staying in the game until they can get a little run of their own goal.
Johnson, when he came out of American Fork, Utah, was a top 50 high school player. 13 games at Oregon. Redshirted last season, playing this year. Back to a 10-point lead. Points this half. Johnson's got 14. And TCU's got 12 as a team. Anderson goes inside. He goes crashing right into the defense of Sacco. And he has to clear the cobwebs a bit.
Anderson is extremely quick.
Well, he got by Darius Brown, and that's an accomplishment in and of itself. And Sacco, he was trying to get turned around and get in position, and he just never got there.
When Anderson came out of Northwest High School in Justin, Texas, he was the #1 player in the state of Texas and across the country. He was a top 20 high school point guard.
Started a lot of games this year for TCU.
And he started before that at Oklahoma State for 4 years.
He played, I mean, he was a really good player at Oklahoma State.
Yes, he was. Johnson leaves, the fans on their feet, and they love the big man.
And that's the Gator chomp, or whatever you call it, is clearly something they only do for Johnson. I'm looking at the crowd. Johnson came out, and their fans all gave him that clap.
Anderson hits the back end of that free throw. 79%. Started half the games. Brown is now hemmed in.
Zone press there from TCU. They go back man-to-man.
Well, they're trying to change the tempo.
Brown Picked up by Peavy. Shakes it down low. That's a turnover, and it's TCU the other way. Anderson puts on the brakes and gets it to go. Stopping on a dime, a 15-footer.
And this is exactly what TCU needed, just something to reverse the flow for a minute and get it going back their way.
But they're not matched up. They had a confusion on their matchups and just left Martinez wide open.
Miller to Coles, and Coles to Peavy. Miller doubled. Cutting is Anderson. Shot clock at 8. Jacoby Coles down low. Uday. Anderson, step back, lean in. Shot clock violation. 9-point Utah State lead. 11:41 to go.
Yeah, and they had won 6 games in a row before their loss to San Diego State in the conference tournament. They were playing great late in the year. And right now in the second half, shooting 64% from the floor, 3 for 5 from 3, and have made both their free throws.
Brown has got it. Adeje is in. Here is Johnson back in the game. They call him the big fish. Brown will take it. In the corner it goes. Rejected with a great swat by Chuck O'Bannon.
And the Duje, he just took a long time to wind this baby up.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, that's one of those, that guy flying at you like that, you give him the pump fake and go around.
Got 3 players on TCU whose dads played in the NBA. Nelson O'Bannon and Jace Posey.
I coached 2 of them, 2 of the fathers.
Brown, long 3. Called! He hit that from Logan. What a shot!
And that's with the shot clock running down. That is so discouraging for a defense.
They are going to double Miller every time, not letting him get going.
Anderson into Martinez. And finally, they get it to the big man, Uday. And a foul.
Now, this particular shot here, the shot clock is running down. He had to go in the backcourt to get the ball. He's in between the S's in March Madness. That is a long way away.
He just drilled that. I mean, he's a good three-point shooter, but that is a deep shot. Look, Darius Brown has not come out of this game. He's got already 10 assists and only 2 turnovers.
Pretty amazing numbers.
You just, if you're the coach, you just feel so comfortable with the ball in his hands.
Uday can't get the second. Johnson retrieves it. The Mountain West Utah State Aggies in white. And a nice drive inside, and they get it to go. Adeje comes up with his 4th point. First point in the second half.
That's a good job making the team pay for pressing you by getting an easy one.
That's what you have to do against pressure.
Charge 3. Adeje has it, and then he'll get the feed and take it back up and in. Off, and Miller is there. Emmanuel Miller got the rebound. Anderson, baseline. That shot will not go in for O'Bannon. Osobor comes up with the rebound for the Aggies.
And Osobor put his hands down like, slow the tempo down. Great Osobor is tired right now.
Halfway through the second half. Look at the Anderson defense on Brown. Osobor will have it. Uday is on him. Shot clock at 5. Look away pass. Brown 3.
That was too close for him.
Brown gets the rebound. Long rebound off the iron. Osobor. 1-on-1 into Uday. Glides in for 2.
You know, he moves pretty well for a guy his size. Off the dribble, are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's not just a post-up guy by any means. He's better actually on the drive.
It's a 10-1 run for the Aggies. Anderson was twirling, and the ball's out of bounds, and a foul is called.
Nice reverse layup there. He's got such great touch.
That was a good shot.
And then examining his hand. That's, you know, we can get as familiar as possible with these teams. We don't know all their little idiosyncrasies. Kevin, you just said that Johnson was the big fish, and that has something to do with that chomp they do with him.
Anderson at the line this summer. The Targaryens, the Iron Throne, and the biggest show on TV are back. It's season 2 of the HBO original series, House of the Dragon, premiering June 16th, only on Max.
Danny Sprinkle and his staff realizing that great Osobor needed a little bit of a blow. He will not be out long. When he's rested him, it's been for like a minute, but he just lets him get a drink of water, basically.
Osobor picked up his 3rd foul.
Well, and maybe his examining his hand is the sign he wants to come out of the game. You know, I don't know. Possibly getting his 3rd foul is the sign he needs to come out of the game, too.
Brown will dictate on top. Under 9 to go in the second half. The winner will take on Purdue, the #1 seed. A Duge off the baseline. Oh, we got a wedgie.
And since the possession error gives it back to Utah State, and since the ball hit the rim, obviously it had to, it got stuck in there, the shot clock will reset to 20.
And 8:46 in the second half.
TCU dodged a bullet there. Nelson was matched up against Johnson, and he fell down. Johnson was all alone under the basket.
And they didn't recognize.
Utah State stays big. They bring in Sacco. Brown, shot clock at 8. The defense here from Nelson. Brown, 2. Got it.
You know, that was not bad defense. He kept him in front of him. But, I mean, this is what a guy like that is able to do. He's an outstanding player.
Nelson kicks it in the corner. It's Coles on top. Sacco is there. Coles will take it inside. Foul.
Stay down.
Khalifa Sacco will get the foul. It is the 4th on him.
And Stan, you keep saying it, how smart and clever Coles is. That was a perfect example right there. He had Sacco backpedaling and then faked and got him to go up in the air and drew the foul.
So Coles, when he was at Geyer High School in Denton, Texas, played some AAU basketball with the great Cade Cunningham. Starring in the big leagues now, but he played at Oklahoma State for a year. Sacco will check out, and Osobor will check in.
Yeah, Osabor's never out for long, but they let him get a little rest, a drink of water, gather himself, and he's back in the game. The guy who never comes out is Brown. Averaged 36 minutes a game on the year, and he's going 40 tonight.
I would think so.
I mean, unless at the end it's a blowout, he might come out. But as long as the game's competitive, he's not going to come out. Osobor is going to give him a little rest here by bringing the ball up the floor.
Brown actually went to get the ball from him, and Osobor sent him away.
Osobor likes to dribble. He thinks his handle's pretty good, and it is. Johnson will take it in, sailing. Got his own miss, trying to corkscrew his way out of traffic, and he hits the deck, and a foul called on TCU.
Well, Johnson has been outstanding.
Foul goes on Peavy.
Only 6 Utah State turnovers, and without that, I don't see how they get back in this with only 7 minutes to go.
Cork comes out. Coles comes in for TCU. Tennyson always intercepted.
He's going to the basket.
Look at him. Takes it in for 2. An aggressive young player.
When he gets the ball, he's got one thing on his mind, and off he goes. That was a great steal.
Utah State's defense has been outstanding.
And they've really picked it up here in the second half.
That's a 3-point shot. Short by Miller. Put back up, try. No. And finally Coles will grab it and get it in. Under 7 to go.
Well, I've got to get some pressure on him here.
Yeah, and they're not getting any pressure on him.
None. The only guy that gets pressure on is Avery Anderson, and he's on the bench right now.
23 years since Utah State has won a tournament game. Brown. Step back three, Brown. Johnson the rebound. Players on the deck. Foul called inside.
Well, that's on Johnson. You know, there was a lot of movement of the ball, but it never advanced past the three-point line.
And you don't want those fouls, as good as Johnson has been, because now you're giving TCU a chance to score without even having to use any clock. Jameer Nelson at the line, 74% free throw shooter.
And we're looking at something here. I think they're trying to decide who the free throw shooter is.
Well, it was Nelson. That was pretty obvious. I just think we haven't had a review in a long time, and they wanted to get one in.
I don't really think that's the way they do that, but that's they came back and they held up the number 4, so that's what they're looking at, is to make sure that Nelson was the free throw shooter.
Andy, what do you have?
Well, it's pretty amazing as you see Jameer Nelson Sr., who arguably was one of Stan Van Gundy's favorite players in Orlando. I don't think there's even an argument. It was 20 years ago, and little Jameer was about 2.5, not even 3, when big Jameer led St. Joe's to the Elite Eight, and I talked to Jameer Jr. about that. Obviously, he doesn't remember that, but he originally just wanted to play baseball until 8th grade, and his dad did not push him to basketball, but then one summer he just started working out with him, and he got hooked. Ended up going to Mason, Delaware, and GW, then Delaware, and now at TCU for his last year, playing in the NCAA tournament. 20 years, kind of feeling old here, after his dad led St. Joe's. There he is, being held by his dad, and there's Phil Martelli to the Elite Eight in that improbable St. Joe's run. And actually, I spoke with Phil Martelli yesterday, and he said that he kind of looks at Jameer Nelson Jr. as a grandson, and that's exactly what Jameer Nelson Jr. told me. He says he looks at Phil Martelli as a sort of adopted grandfather.
That's a nice story, Andy. We thank you for that. Osobor just picked up a foul, so he's got 4 now for the Aggies. At the free throw line, Jameer Nelson Jr.
Well, this is what TCU needs. They're just going to the line and shooting without the clock moving. It's a good way to get back in the game. But look, I was really lucky to coach his father. The best teammate I have ever seen,
no kidding,
in my time in coaching, knew how to get the best out of everyone he played with.
He played 14 years in the pros, out of bounds at kicks. It'll be Utah State's ball.
And I remember they talked about the baseball. My son and I going to watch Jameer Jr. play middle school baseball for Lake Highland Prep. And he was a good baseball player.
Look at that! Getting up high, Martinez was ready to windmill it in.
That was sort of an optimistic kind of adventure right there. I mean, look where he takes off. And he's actually going to go up over Uday? I don't think so.
How about that? He got hit in the nose, I think, too, when he was going in.
Martinez is an 86% free throw shooter.
His parents started a basketball academy in Costa Rica a couple decades ago, and his mom and dad both played college basketball. His dad at one time was an assistant coach for the University of Utah for 2 years. His dad played on the Costa Rican national team. Martinez gets the first to go. And Martinez, Dan, has had kind of an interesting venture through college basketball. Utah and a couple years the Maryland Terrapins.
He seems to have found a home here.
Yes, he has.
Well, that's exactly what we expected, that Isaac Johnson and Martinez would be leading the way here. 36 points combined, but you guys have said it consistently throughout the day. This is what's to be expected in the NCAA tournament. You need other people to step up.
Anderson to Coles, and Coles trying to go down low and looking for Miller. They were diving for it. Out of bounds it goes. It is off of Utah State.
Well, Falsleff is upset that he couldn't grab the ball and run down and try to make a tough layup again. That ball bounced off the foot. It pinballed around there. I'm okay with giving it to TCU.
Coles, he'll put up a three.
I mean, we've said it enough, but I love Jacoby Coles.
He's got 17. He averages 10. Look at this drive, taking it up and in. Aduje, easy two.
Well, I love the way Utah State attacks pressure.
They're just going after it.
Yeah, they're not just going to try to get it across and pull it back out.
No, they're not worried about running clock. They're looking to score points.
They go inside. Peavy, good reverse. His layup rejected inside. Once, twice. The defense of Utah State. They're a two-man wrecking crew. Johnson with the block. Aduje with the block inside for the Yankees.
I mean, Johnson really does a nice job getting himself planted and then going back up again. A great block by Aduje to start the thing, and Johnson almost took himself out of the play, but he recovered very nicely.
Trying to figure out what Danny Sprinkle is upset about. He's got his guy at the free throw line.
Well, it's like you were saying with the referees reviewing the thing. He hadn't been upset about something for a while.
That's a good point.
He just has to go and yell at the referees a little bit.
And they take the teams off the floor, and 5:06 to go in this one. Utah State by 14. They've led by 18.
I think they're reviewing for a flagrant down here.
A hook and hold right there.
Oh, yes. Look at that.
Oh, boy. I mean,
Martinez was ripped to the ground.
That's Peavy, and what he did is he actually hooked him and pulled him down. That looks to me like a hook and hold.
Let's go to Gene Steratore, our rules analyst. Gene, what'd you see there?
I'm agreeing with Dan on the play. I know Peavy's frustrated. As he's falling initially, I didn't think as much, but we can see here right at the end, he then does clamp down and squeeze it and bring that player with him. And in my opinion, I think that's where it rises to a flagrant one.
And that's great work by our cameraman there.
Absolutely.
Because I didn't see that in real time, but that's just a great angle and we can see it. But it is not a hook and hold.
All right, 5:06 to go, and
he grabs him by the arm, and I really thought that he looked and just hung on. I mean, if he leaves go, but he didn't.
Martinez back at the line. 10 consecutive losses for the Yankees in the tournament and trying to get their first in 23 years. Gene, you heard the call. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I am a little surprised by it because, as Dan just alluded to, Kevin, at some point there you do realize you're locked up, and then you're going to continue to pull your opponent to the ground with you as opposed to either trying to disengage or, kind of stay where you're at. To me, it felt like Peavy finished the job and then yanked his player down. I felt like that caused it to rise, in my opinion.
Gene, as always, thank you. It's Jameer Nelson Jr. It's Jacoby Coles. Way off that time. Rebound by Miller, but a lot of players down there defending, like Johnson. Then finally picked up by O'Bannon and pulls the trigger.
Great effort. They went back to O'Bannon. Everybody on the floor now for TCU is a three-point shooter.
Well, even with turnovers, that's about the only chance they have.
Yeah, but they need more pressure on the ball, and they're not getting it right now.
Brown setting things up. Single-digit shot clock. Nelson is defending. Brown sets up a two.
They got to push.
Nelson's got it. Down court for Miller. The trailing Nelson threads it inside to Coles. Defense once again.
It's hard getting it over a 7-foot guy.
It is.
And now Brown just seems to have taken the foot off the gas pedal here.
Martinez will back up with it. Dancing here, working on Miller. Took it down low. Falslev drives that baseline. Mason Falslev from Benson, Utah, was the MVP in the state of Utah in high school football and in high school basketball. A terrific athlete. All a part of the Aggie story, 84-68.
10 assists, 2 steals. You're just always organized when he's out there. You're always under control. No chaotic moments with Darius Brown.
And Dan, Utah State's only turned it over 7 times all game.
And TCU, that's been hard for them to get out and run because they haven't gotten stops and they haven't forced turnovers.
Anderson with the fake over Martinez. Flying in there to get that rebound. O'Bannon. And they get a new shot clock.
One thing they have done is rebound the ball offensively. That's now 16 offensive rebounds.
Nelson working on Sacco. O'Bannon will put up a 3. Rebound Coles, another offensive rebound. Grinding, spinning, and laying it through. Working into Aduje. Timeout taken. 3:07 to go. 14-point game. The winner will play Purdue by 14. Earlier in the game, TCU led by 8. But then the Furious come back and the Aggies start hitting shots. Johnson, man in the middle, has been good, and that guy is exhausted. Osubor.
He's also out of the game because he's one of the weaker free throw shooters. They got 4 guards in there now.
This is Martinez the other way, and Nelson stands in the way. And under 3 to go in this game. Ian Martinez will jab, step, and drive, and bump, and spin, and feed. Aduje puts it through.
Aduje has made some very nice contributions off the bench tonight.
Well, just look at the numbers here. Only 7 turnovers, 56% from the floor, 42% from 3.
Oh, he just blocked one right there, skying and swatting it away, Aduje. And defense, we talked about Utah State's defense tonight. You've been impressed.
Oh, look, to me, the game turned in the first half with the 1-3-1, and then even when they've gone back to man-to-man, their defense has been great.
They have TCU to only 38% from the field.
I mean, they're just letting the clock run out. There's no pressure here.
Martinez and Johnson was reaching in, or Anderson rather, was reaching in, and Avery Anderson will pick up the foul. Avery gets his 3rd. Now they go back to Coles. They bring in O'Bannon. They're going to take out Anderson, and they're going to take out Cork.
And they're saluting the big fish as he leaves the game.
Well, the big fish was outstanding tonight. 19 points and 4 blocked shots.
Martinez.
Hey man, what time? What time? What time?
He's an 86% free throw shooter and shows it right there.
Well, he's made all 8 tonight.
Yep.
But in addition to his 21 points, he, as well as Osubor, has 4 assists in the game.
And no turnovers.
Coles will take it right down the middle. With the rebound inside. Finally, look at it, it's just exchanging hands all over the floor. And finally they get it. Picked up by Martinez. Off to Brown. Looking for Sacco, and then Sacco was quickly covered by O'Bannon. And the clock continues to tick in a minute and a half to go. And the Aggies of Utah State are going to play Purdue. It'll be a 1 against an 8. Martinez inside. Sacco trying to get free. Poke the ball away. Nelson the other way, and Miller. And Coles, and rejected at the other end by Martinez.
Martinez has been great. I thought Brown was finally going to get a rest, but Danny Sprinkle said, no, we're only up 18 with 1:11. I want this under control. I'm leaving my guy in.
Landon Brinchley is checked in, only playing in his 12th game all season for the Aggies. Peavy is in the corner to Nelson with the fake by Brown, the drive down the baseline. And a timeout by TCU. This is going to be the first time that 3 Mountain West teams have won an NCAA tournament in the same year. San Diego State, Colorado State, and here in Indy, Utah State. They've lost 10 straight tournament games since. Sacco was trying to get that ball. Nelson has it, and here comes Anderson. Into Brenchley. In the corner, it goes to Peavy. Brenchley's got the rebound. And as I mentioned before, Danny Sprinkle for the Aggies had no returning points to the roster from last year.
Yeah, but he brought this guy.
Yes, he did.
Darius Brown, and he brought Great Elsabor. That's better than having returning players. These two guys are outstanding.
It'll be the Aggies and the Boilermakers come Sunday here in Indianapolis. This is the large. Oh, they go up high that time for a Duge, and he comes down hard. He could not get it, and out of bounds and off of the Horned Frogs. This will be Utah State's largest margin of victory ever in an NCAA tournament.
Well, and we knew Darius Brown didn't have the conditioning to play the entire game. So he's going to come out for a rest.
All right, Jackson is in. Brenchley remains. Aduje stays in there, and they bring in Nigel Burris, who is a sophomore from San Francisco and played a year at Idaho, to wind things up. And TCU will finish 21-13. And Utah State will have won 7 of their last 8 games. And tonight, they beat them. TCU falls. It's the Aggies 88-72. Points for Martinez.